Another former candidate, Senator Cory Booker, joins us from Detroit First on CBS this morning with his endorsement. Senator Booker, thanks for being with us. Good morning. Why are you endorsing Joe Biden?
Well, look, it's a time for us to beat Donald Trump, and it became very clear to me that Joe Biden is the right person to do that. We have to unify and show our strength, and I think this Tuesday could be just a pivotal day in our primary progress, but it's about time we start unifying as a party and begin the work to beat Donald Trump and, frankly, save our nation, humanity, address our common cause and our common challenges.
Well, Senator, it's interesting how you phrase that, because it sounds like it's more about beating Donald Trump than it is about liking Joe Biden as a candidate. So let me ask you about some of your past comments regarding Joe Biden. You were critical of his vote for the '94 crime bill, which disproportionately affected African Americans. And I think people who are cynical about politics, they see somebody like yourself criticize a guy and then come out and back him, and they say, what changed?
Well, first of all, I love Joe Biden. He and I have had a great relationship for a long time. I wouldn't have run against him if I didn't think I was the best person to be the next president of the United States, but I'm out of the race. And as I look at him, I know factually from talking to him that some of my biggest issues, like criminal justice reform, like racial justice, like economic justice, that he is going to be a strong leader on that and can actually pull the country together, the kind of coalitions we need to actually make progress in those areas. So I'm enthusiastic about this decision. I'm determined to beat Donald Trump. I know he is a leader, not just to beat Donald Trump, but to bring honor back to that office.
Well, speaking of race, Senator Booker, this primary began as the most diverse field of candidates in it, and it comes down basically to these two older white gentlemen now. How does that happen, and what does it say about the Democratic Party?
Well, what I'm celebrating is I think a lot of people are waking up to the reality. African-American voters in the South, African-American voters here in Detroit, they have played a pivotal role in my entire lifetime in choosing the Democratic nominee. And what I'm excited about is to hear Joe Biden even growing in enthusiasm, because he's always been talking about it, and understanding the issues of race and, frankly, racial reconciliation, racial justice, and even saying things now about choosing a black woman on the Supreme Court. So I'm happy about the diversity of our nation. I'm happy to see the coalitions that Joe Biden is building. I'm happy that I know confidently that he's going to govern in a way that brings us together as a nation across racial, religious, even party lines to begin to do the business, because we know now more than ever our adversaries from China to Russia are building in strength and determination to undermine our democracy. Our divisions as a country is our weakness. We need the candidate that can best unify all of us, and that is Joe Biden.
Senator Booker, Senator Sanders said over the weekend that the establishment basically forced Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg out of the race and ultimately to endorse Joe Biden, as you have. What do you say to that? Is the Democratic establishment ganging up on Bernie Sanders?
I don't think so. First of all, Bernie's my friend. I have a lot of respect for him and have worked with him in Washington, D.C. I just want us to get beyond pointing fingers at each other, trying to tear each other down. We can't tolerate that right now. The threat is in the White House. We're seeing that with the bungled way that he's been handling this challenge with the coronavirus, to his denying of science, not just the ones of his people around him, but even climate change science. This planet is in peril. We don't have time to fight against each other. We don't need to turn against each other. We need to turn to each other. And so I'm supporting Joe Biden because I think he's got the best chance of all the diversity in our party, of all the diversity across this nation. I think that in this particular time in history, he's the person to unify us and help us to beat Donald Trump and lead forward together.
All right, we've got to leave it there. Senator Cory Booker, thank you very much.